my business grew quick, and so did my pockets. And this was just the beginning.
All money's not good money. It may buy you nice cars, nice jewelry, but it can't buy you back the time you missed with your son.
To BMF. Black Mafia Family.
Wow, that is Vivica A. Fox's directorial debut feature length. So Sopranos phenomenon, of course, that kept us on the edge of our seats, and the countless other film and TV depictions of the Italian mafia through the years. With the Black Mafia Family, infamous drug-running organization saga, has recently captured the nation's attention. And now the legendary, as we mentioned, Vivica A. Fox is directing a new BET Plus biopic called First Lady of BMF, the Tonesa Welch Story. That story follows her rise to one of the most prolific head bosses in Detroit's Black Mafia family. It is a raw story of crime, drugs, infidelity, deception, and redemption. And Vivica is back with the First Lady of BMF, Tonesa Welch. Thank you so much for joining us. So many people have tried to capture your story, and now, for the first time, you are signing off on your story with your voice.
Yes.
For background, for people who don't know, you were 19 years old, a young mom. You had a 6-month-old son at the time.
Yes.
And you talked about, look, that's you? Oh, my goodness.
That fro is alive.
Look, you know, talk about, look how people just evolve and change.
Yes.
And this kid went into a Detroit nightclub at the time, the Rooster Tail.
Yes.
And you talk about, you went into one door and came out a different person.
Yes.
What was that person who came out of that club that day?
When I think about who I was like, I grew up middle-class family, the only girl in the house, spoiled under my mom all the time. I went to this party, and it, like I say, I didn't know that part was going to be in the book, in the movie.
Yes.
It was like I did go in the revolving door. It was fabulous. Everybody looked so good. It was just like, whoa, I have never seen this before. Everybody had on jewelry. Even walking up to the Rooster Tail, if you know anything about the Rooster Tail in Detroit, it's fabulous. Yeah. And I walked in that door, and I looked at the people, and it was my world. I just
You said, I want to be this.
I wanted to be this.
And what that was came at a cost.
It came at a cost, and I didn't realize that then, but I just wanted a part of it. I wanted to be a part of that life.
You talk about the fact that the money came easy, and ultimately you were indicted for money laundering. You spent 5 years in prison. You only got out in 2012. I thought a lot about you and your journey, because on our first season of our show, Topeka Sam, who spent 3 years in jail for smuggling drugs into the United States, we've done some work together, because 13.5% of women are sentenced for drug crimes. Of those women, 60% are people of color.
Wow.
Yes.
One of the most, I've been a reporter for 30 years, one of the most stirring moments in my life in Indiana at a federal prison. And almost all of the women there were in prison for something they did for a man that landed them in jail, whether it was laundering money, hiding money, and they were serving the time. Yeah. And you saw all of this firsthand.
I saw this firsthand, but I don't want to put all the responsibility on them. Yeah. I knew what I was doing. I have to take responsibility for myself, you know, so I was a part of it. So when it was time to go to prison, I had to take that responsibility. I lived in that life. Nobody pushed me to do that.
You talk about this was your worst nightmare ever, and you're happy that you went through that.
Right.
I think most people would say, I don't know how you find happiness in that situation. How did you find happiness in that story?
I didn't find it at first. Once I went.
It took some time, no pun intended.
But after, you know, once I was there, you know, getting past the, you know, the blaming, you know, all of that being angry, I started realizing you put yourself here. Yeah. You did this to you. You did this to your family. So then it was a time for me to reflect on my life. Right. I remember my mother saying one day to me, "Who are you?" She knew I changed. And so when I got to prison, and I'm there, I'm stripped of everything that I know, from my family, from everything I had, the homes, the kids, everything. I had to really reflect on who I was now. I had to find out, who are you?
That's powerful.
And it went back to that conversation. So I said, you know what, God? I'm going to really work on me. I'm going to really reflect on who am I? How did I get here?
And that's your story that Vivica A. Fox so beautifully tells here. Yes. And a part of it also, I know October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and everyone who knows, members of the Tam fam know that I lost my sister in an act of violence, and that you have this in the film, right?
Yes.
Because as you pointed out, this is not this glamorous journey. This is not furs and cars. This is violence, and many times violence against women.
Yes.
Why was it important for you to have these things told?
Because I wanted people to really see it. When I was coming around, it was such a silent epidemic, you know? We didn't talk about it. We hid it. We tried to make it seem like, okay, we wipe it off, we put the makeup on. But it's, people have been in domestic violence, you know, and been abused. Women have been losing their lives a long time. And so I wanted people to see, yeah, I want to be able to show you guys, look, you can make it out of that.
Wow.
You can get, you know, you can come out of it, you can come out strong, you can build yourself up, you can change your whole life around. Wow. You don't have to depend on a man or your family, you know.
You can do it. I love it. I love it. And I know Vivica has long been an advocate for survivors of domestic violence. As I said, when you came out here, your body of work and this full circle moment, you being a powerful woman, giving another powerful woman a voice.
Yes.
You know, how does that feel for you?
Girl, you see me over here almost in a bucket of tears. Every time I come on a show, it's just emotional. But I believe that women are capable of everything, anything you want to do. Don't let one bad choice define your future.
I love it. I love it. So that's a full circle moment for Vivica, but there's something you don't know, Miss Vivica A. Fox. Tonesa, when she came out, you're like, oh, let me introduce you to Tonesa. I said, well, we kind of know each other. We did a show on people who look like me around the country. They call them doppelgangers when someone looks like your twin. Tam fam, this is not your first time on the show. Your hair was a little different.
Yes.
Take a look of our roundup of people around the country who look like me. Take a look.
People always say, you look like, and I stop. Tamron Hall, right? Tamron Hall, you know, they were like, yeah, that's who it is, that's who it is. It's the most beautiful comment that a woman can have, because I think she's beautiful, she's talented, she's smart, she's amazing.
So that was our show on lookalikes.
Yes.
So people would tell you when your hair was shorter, right?
All the time.
All the
My mother swore by it, like, no.
Look at that.
Yes.
You also look like...
Well, we got that look in the movie, just so you know. And it's right. It's tight, girl. And
you know, Lieutenant Uhura from Star Trek.
Oh,
Really?
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. We're gonna have to do some DNA tests.
okay.
You know, my mom was adopted, so she always would say it. It's like she said, maybe not, you know, but somewhere down the line,
That's your
it's
cousin.
something.
That's
It's
crazy.
something. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to get me a wig from the Vivica A. Fox collection.
I'll send it.
We can look like it.
Yes.
Well, I'm so proud of you and
Thank
happy
you.
that you're sharing your story through your lens. And you are in the best hands in the business, Miss Vivica A. Fox. Thank you to Vivica. Tonesa, be sure to watch the first Lady of BMF, the Tonesa Welch Story, available for streaming tomorrow on BET+.